Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to create a two-page layout based on my continuing series from our visit to Oahu, Hawaii. And this is our second day at the Polynesian Cultural Center and learning more about where the SHAKA came from. Do you know what the SHAKA is? The SHAKA is this. The wave that we're all used to from Hawaii I grew up in California, so this meant hang loose, and it was a Hawaiian term that we knew we were using because it was cool because we had surfers in our area and whatever. But there is an origin to where this came from, and we learned that at the Polynesian Cultural Center. So I'll talk more about that in the video coming up as I put this layout together. Let's check out All right, so this, you'll recall, is the right-hand side of the layout that we started, or that we did just this last time when we played with some mixed media and created some flowers and this journal box, and we made this cute border that went around the outside using our decorative trimmer. But today we're going to make a border, and we're going to use a border maker cartridge to do it. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to just flip this page over because we're going to use the back side of it. Those papers I'm not sure if we're going to use yet or not. The green cardstock I have out here is mainly going to be for matting some photos, so I'm just going to set that aside until we're ready to do that. The blue is going to be a background for what we punch using this Mosaic diamond border maker cartridge. This was a gift with purchase here recently, and I haven't had the occasion to use it yet, so I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. So I pulled out this wood paper because I thought it would make a cool border for what we're going to be doing today. We're talking about tikis and the SHAKA and just kind of reintroducing the Polynesian Cultural Center because we are going to have a few more layouts focusing on different areas that we caught on the second day that we were there. And so I'm just going to mainly use the outside edges of this, not really intending to create two separate frames, but just kind of a three-sided frame that will create a large frame that goes all the way around both pages of the layout, so that I can go ahead and add this in again. I know you've seen this before. A while ago we put a version of this in there. This is just the map of the Polynesian Cultural Center, and I just wanted to include it again because this is our second day, and it's a separate volume of my scrapbook for this trip. This is the second volume, so we don't have that in this volume yet. So we're going to just add it in one more time. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and just set these over here. We're going to fold this in half. So we're going to just sort of crease it, and you can see the blue paper on the back side. This is just a piece of wood grain paper. I don't know which collection it's from, I'm sorry to say. I think it's from the texture collection that came out a few years ago that that spoke to wood. Remember, there were some bricks and some stone and I don't know, some various other things. So I'm just going to gently crease this, not harshly crease it, just kind of a little bit on either point, so that we can kind of keep these two pages together. And I'm hoping I can punch the two pages together in my border maker. Let's see if we can do that. If we cannot do that, we may have to get creative and do this a different way. But I'm hoping that this will work, that I can just put this in and secure it with the magnet. Send that to the back, and then go ahead and, oh, I don't want to do the corner yet. I almost forgot. So I want to let's start down here at our folded bit. Okay, so we'll make sure we can fold it through. We can. Perfect.
I don't want to do the corner yet.
So I don't want to do that, the corner that's up here, because that's not the folded corner. I'm going to do that in just a bit, and I'm going to do it when I can make sure that it matches the other direction.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Would you say I'm open-minded?
Excuse me?
Would you say I'm open-minded?
Yeah, I guess so.
Random
Why?
question, Emily, why?
I don't know. I'm mutualing, and I'm seeing people's things that say looking for a kind-hearted, open-minded woman. And I'm like, I don't know if I am.
I wonder what open-minded means
Mm-hmm.
in our world today.
That is what I thought as well.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Make your best guess. You could always find out what they mean by that and then let them know you're not that open-minded if it's a little too wacky.
Yeah. That's a good point. Okay, I'm cool. I just wanted to ask.
Okay.
What are you guys up to?
I'm recording.
Oh.
Dad's upstairs helping Michael get school and VA stuff straightened out. Heidi's chilling on the couch. Uncle Troy went to go get lunch. And I think Aunt Debbie is at Grandma's.
That's it. Aunt Debbie's at Grandma's.
And Haley should be studying, but I haven't seen her, so I don't know.
Did you tell Uncle Troy to bring you back food?
No, I don't know where he went.
He probably walked to some crazy place.
Probably.
Crazy man.
Yep.
Love him.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'll see you when I'm done at work.
All right, sweetie. Love you.
Love you, bye.
Bye. Okay, so now I've punched all the way to the end, but not the very end, just the second to the last punch. And I'm going to open this back up, and I'm going to fold this going the other direction, this way, so that I can make that final corner punch at the same time, and it will punch both sides, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to everyone. So I'm just going to do just the one end. So I'm just going to slide this in, fold it together into my border maker house. And I'm going to hold that there with my finger while I close the magnet. And now that this is folded over, I can go ahead and make this corner punch that I was mentioning before, Hayden, so that it punches both sides.
Oh, okay.
See? So now when I open it up, I've got the start of my next side. And because I'm not doing this full angle here, I'm not going to punch a full other, triangle together. So I'm just going to open this up so that I can do this arm right here, like that, and then turn it around and complete this side because I've already gotten this side started.
The reason why I asked though is the way you were talking. If someone is just listening, like some people might just be doing, because that's all they can at the minute. The way you said it sounded a little confusing, at least to my ears. So, figured someone needed to ask a question.
All right, so we've got all of those put away. Now let's do the same thing with this other piece so that we have that going all the way around. And I'm thinking I might just go ahead and trim this so that it is just the border going all the way around. I saw someone using this punch the other day and they said that it looked to them like a stained glass window, which I think it could, under the right circumstances, definitely be used that way. But I'm going to use mine more like the lattice work that you find in many of the Polynesian historical areas. And what we're going to do is place this blue paper underneath it. Goodness sake. All right. So I believe what we're going to do, let me just measure how wide of a piece we're going to need. I think probably a 1-inch piece would be more than enough. Yeah, we'll do a 1-inch piece. So I need 6 1-inch strips of this water paper. And this water paper comes from the Serene Waters collection that released last summer. But it is still available, so if you really like this, that's where you'll find it. I've used a lot of the Serene Waters collection throughout this album because it is so beautiful, and the colors are gorgeous with my theme of this album, because it's tropical and many of my photos are of that same theme. We did a lot of things on and around water, so it works beautifully for this book. All right, so let me go ahead. I'm just going to add these onto where I want them for these pages, and then we'll decide whether we're going to trim this and pull out most of this block to use somewhere else, or if I'm going to use it as a background paper. So let's see. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my adhesive on the back side of the punched paper, because it's easier to do that than to try to add it to this and then have to rub it off in the places that I don't want to see it later. And then I'm just going to take these strips and add them to the back of this paper, even with the lines of the paper, so that you don't see it, of course. Ta-da, just like that. Okay, now we're going to do this side. Put a little bit over the end of that, because it will need to be kept down. Okay, so I'm just overlapping that corner. I probably could have trimmed off an inch of my strip, but it's just easier to just glue it on there and not noticeable, so not worried about it. We've got that. Let's do the other one. So just be careful to make sure that your edges are meeting and lining up, because you don't want to miss it or have it be lopsided. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at this and make a decision of how we're going to proceed, so that we know whether we need to cut, so that I know whether I need to cut a portion of this out. So the page before, we have a border that goes all the way around both sides, so I'm kind of inclined to leave this whole page on here. So let's just do that. So I'm going to just add my adhesive around the edge of this 12 by 12 piece, and we're going to go ahead and add it to my natural page, starting in the center, lower corner, and I line up the bottom edge and the center on the jeeping. There we go. Okay, I'll do the same thing for this one. Oop, not my repositionable adhesive. We want permanent for this one. I added just a couple of spots in the middle because I noticed that this one is a little bit bubbly. because of the folds that we put in it when we went to cut it. So you might want to do that too. Depends on how your paper is behaving. All right, cool. Okay, now we need to just kind of take a gander at this and our pictures and kind of decide where we want to cut this, whether we want to have it more on one side or centered, or how we want to do that. I have this picture of the entrance to the Polynesian Cultural Center, which we'll put. This is, as you drive in, the area is flanked on both sides by these tikis, which are a little intimidating, but really cool. I think this one's going to end up going up here at kind of underneath. And this one will go down below. So I told you I was going to tell you a little more about the SHAKA. At the very entrance to the Polynesian Cultural Center, not just to the parking area, you'll find these two tiki gods guarding the entrance, and this statue right here of a man by the name of Hamana Kalili, and he lived in Laie from 1882 to 1958, and he is the one that originated they call him the father of the SHAKA. And the reason is because he had these 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, not his thumb or his pinky, but the middle 3 fingers were cut off in an accident. And the accident was, let's see, he used to be a waterman, a fisherman, I assume, or waterman, and he was working at the sugar mill, it looks like, and there was an accident, and he lost those 3 fingers. So, as a result, he ended up working with a different organization, starting to work for the railroad, and he used to gesture with his hand to let people know when the train was coming. Then he also used that same hand as he led the choir at the Latter-day Saint church nearby. And so people got very familiar with seeing this, and they began to use the same gesture, it says. The gesture gradually began to spread around the world as thousands of visitors watched Hamana and acting as king, when he acted as King Kamehameha in a historic hukilau event in Laie. So because of that, and many surfers went all over the world, residents of Hawaii went all over the world, government leaders started using it, all kinds of people started sharing the friendly greeting, and it just became a thing. So, if you ever wonder where the SHAKA came from, now you know. Let's see. So I also have these beautiful pictures of a Hawaiian quilt. This is a design that is, as I understand it, traditional for Hawaii, and it, if you look closely, it does definitely resemble like the pineapple and everything. So I don't know, just kind of cool. So we have all of this. So let's see. I'm thinking what I might do is go ahead and just divide this right in here, right between Fiji and Aotearoa and Tonga and Tahiti, kind of right down the middle. And then we will make the rest of these pictures fit in here. Somehow. I will figure it out. Okay. Maybe what we ought to do is move this picture over here. Then we have a little more space on this side. And things aren't so cramped. I like that much better. All right, so let's go ahead and trim this guy, and then we will decide which of these photos to go ahead and matte. So I'm going to just try and keep this as level as possible, which is kind of tricky.
You're no tricky angel.
Alright, so we're going to go like that, and then let me grab my green cardstock and we'll figure out what we're going to do with that. So I think I want this one, I want some emphasis on this one and this one. And okay, let's see. I don't think I'm going to use these wood pieces of paper. Let's save those for another layout somewhere, because I think we've got enough going on with this. And let's see. This picture is 4.5 by 4. So I need a 5 by 4.5 to mat that photo. And this picture is a 5 by 4. So we did 5.5 this way, then I would need a 4.5 this way, and that would work for this photo. This photo is its own person. This photo is 4 5/8, just to be different. 4 5/8 and 3 7/8. Okay. Let's see. 4 5/8 and 3 7/8. So I basically just add a 1/2 inch, and when I add a 1/2 inch, it gives a nice border that goes around the edge. So in my mind, I add a 1/2 inch. Of course, I did the math wrong on this one, you can tell. So let's see, I think we need
Rewind button.
I'm gonna just go ahead and mount this one on here and then cut it. All right. Fixed. Now I feel like I need more, but maybe not. Maybe that'll be good. I'm going to toss these smaller pieces because I won't use those for sure. Keep the bigger one. Let's go ahead and mount these photos while I, whoops, I already did that one. While I think about how we're going to embellish this page, this layout. Alright, so this is the right side of my layout. I have all of the All the pictures are now adhered. The only thing not adhered is this piece of the map that I was going to have go kind of across the top. And what I should have done is kind of lay it out together so that I could line it up and make sure that I had enough room. This is a teensy bit off up here at the top, but not too bad. But so now that map will go together, and we'll be able to kind of get a sense of the size of this complex. So
It's all right, Mama. I don't think anyone's gonna notice.
let's see. Looking it through here to find
Sparkles?
no something that I can make into a journal box or use as an embellishment. Go back to that.
That card on the top in your right hand, the one that looks like the sun and sky is pretty.
Quite a few of them are very, very pretty and nice. It's just a matter of deciding which ones to use. Could just put this guy right here and not worry about journaling, but I don't know, I kind of feel like I need to talk or write, as it were, on here a little bit, so
Don't forget that without words we won't exactly know where it is the pictures are from.
alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut this in half. This is one of the 4.5 by 6.5 mats. So when we cut it in half, we cut it at 3 1/4, and that gives us 2 pieces. So we can use 2, make good use of them for 2 mats. Let's see here. Actually, I may only want half of that still. So let's do 2 1/4, 2. What is this? This is 4.5. So 2 1/4 would be half of that. I'm going to use the lighter one. And I'm going to grab my scissors and my foam squares. And we are going to... I'm going to use this. This comes from Tropic Time. And we're just going to, instead of having this all be connected, we're going to have several different leaves. There we go. And then I'm going to use these. These two are kind of like the sun, only they sort of remind me of flowers. They look a little bit similar to this, which is a flower. So we're just going to kind of use them like they are flowers on here. Strange, I thought I grabbed all of my sheets of foam squares, but I didn't, so there's that one. Okay, so I'm just going to just put one foam square on the back of these for right now until we figure out where we're going to put them. We might not use 4, I may just use 3. So I like odd numbers better, but just in case. Okay, now this guy is going to go underneath here where I have some room. So that I can journal a little bit. And then we'll put this flower at the corner and a leaf underneath. Like that. This one I'm going to kind of put in the middle here, and we'll give him a big leaf. This one, I want to put over here, but I don't want to cover anything up, so maybe we'll just kind of add him here. And grab a foam square, stick on the back of this guy. We'll have him kind of stick out the top. And a foam square on this one remaining leaf. And I'm not going to worry about this additional flower down here. We'll just use this kind of here to highlight the journal box. Tiny little journal box. I'm going to have to write really, really small. Okay. What do we think? I think this is about done. I don't think we need more than that because we have a lot of busy patterns, a lot to see, and I'm not going to complicate that by adding more embellishing. So let me know what you think in the comments. And because I'd love to hear, I always love to hear what you have to say. And If you have any other ideas that maybe I could have done, feel free to suggest them. I love to read those too. Thanks so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time. And until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Have a great day now.